Hello everyone, and welcome back to our Product Design and Development series. In today's Episode 5, we're going to learn one of the most important topics in engineering drawings and manufacturing, GD&T, which stands for Geometric Dimensioning and Tolerancing. Whether you're a design engineer, manufacturing engineer, quality engineer, or a student, understanding GD&T can significantly improve your technical skills. So let's start from the basics and gradually move towards advanced concepts. Many engineers can create CAD models and drawings, but creating a drawing is only half the job. The real challenge is clearly defining how a part should function and how it should be manufactured and inspected. GD&T acts as a common language between design, manufacturing, suppliers, and quality teams. It ensures everyone understands exactly what is required from the part. Let's understand why normal dimensions are not always enough. Imagine a hole with a diameter of 10 plus or minus 0.1 millimeters. The size may be perfectly correct, but what if the hole is slightly shifted from its intended location, or tilted, or the surrounding surface is warped? The part may pass dimensional inspection, but still fail during assembly. Traditional dimensions mainly control size. GD&T controls function. GD&T stands for Geometric Dimensioning and Tolerancing. It is a symbolic language used to control shape, orientation, location, and runout of features. Instead of only defining size, GD&T defines how a part should actually behave and fit during assembly. This improves communication, quality, manufacturability, and often reduces manufacturing cost. Let's look at a real automotive example. Consider door trim clips used inside a vehicle. If the clip holes are not positioned correctly, several problems can occur. The clips may not engage properly, assembly force increases, and over time, the vehicle may develop squeak and rattle issues. This is why GD&T is critical in the automotive industry. GD&T can be divided into 5 major categories: form control, orientation control, location control, runout control, profile control. We'll understand each category one by one. Form controls define the shape of a feature. There are 4 types: straightness, flatness, circularity, and cylindricity. An important thing to remember is that form controls do not require datums, because the feature is compared against itself. Straightness ensures that a feature is not bent or curved. Think of a shaft. Even if the diameter is correct, the shaft may bend slightly. Straightness controls this deviation. The actual line or axis must stay within a specified tolerance zone. And remember, straightness does not require a datum reference. Flatness ensures that a surface is truly flat. For example, a mounting surface must not have excessive waviness or distortion. The entire surface must fit between 2 parallel planes separated by the specified tolerance. Like straightness, flatness also does not require a datum. These 2 controls are often confused. Circularity checks each individual circular cross-section. In simple words, every slice of the cylinder must be round. Cylindricity is more comprehensive. It checks the entire cylindrical surface in 3 dimensions. So, circularity controls roundness. Cylindricity controls the complete cylindrical form. Neither requires a datum reference. Now let's move to orientation controls. These controls define the angle of a feature relative to another reference. The 3 orientation controls are Parallelism, Perpendicularity, and Angularity. Unlike form controls, orientation controls require datums. Parallelism ensures that a feature remains equally distant from a datum. Imagine 2 surfaces that must remain perfectly parallel. The actual surface must stay within 2 parallel planes defined by the tolerance value. For cylindrical features, the axis must remain inside a cylindrical tolerance zone. The key point is that parallelism always needs a datum. Parallelism can be applied to surfaces, axes, or center planes. Its purpose is simple: Keep a feature perfectly parallel to a datum reference. The entire feature must remain within the specified tolerance zone. Perpendicularity controls a 90-degree relationship. For example, a vertical wall may need to remain exactly perpendicular to a base surface. The feature must stay within a tolerance zone oriented at 90 degrees to the datum. This control is commonly used in brackets, housings, and mounting features. Again, a datum reference is mandatory. Perpendicularity controls a 90-degree relationship with a datum. Whether it's a surface, axis, or center plane, the feature must stay within the defined tolerance zone. This helps ensure proper fit and assembly. Angularity is similar to perpendicularity, but instead of 90 degrees, it controls any specified angle. For example, a surface may need to be at 30 degrees relative to a datum. The actual feature must remain within the defined tolerance zone around that angle. Angularity helps maintain consistent functional alignment around that angle. Angularity helps maintain consistent functional alignment within a part. Angularity controls features that are at an angle other than 0 or 90 degrees. The feature must remain within the tolerance zone around the specified angle. A datum is always required for reference. Next is profile control. Profile is one of the most powerful GD&T controls. It controls the entire shape of a feature. This is especially useful for complex surfaces found in automotive interior and exterior parts. Instead of controlling multiple dimensions separately, profile can control the complete contour with a single tolerance. Location controls ensure that features are positioned correctly. The most important location control is position. Position tolerance controls where a hole, slot, pin, or feature must be located. This is one of the most commonly used GD&T controls in industry. Without proper position control, assembly issues can occur, even when dimensions appear correct. Concentricity ensures that two cylindrical features share the same center axis. In this example, the smaller cylinder must remain aligned with the axis of the larger cylinder within the specified tolerance zone. Simply put, concentricity controls how well two features stay centered with each other. Symmetry ensures that features are evenly positioned about a center plane or axis. In this example, both holes must be equally spaced from the center plane within the specified tolerance. Simply put, symmetry makes sure the feature pattern remains balanced on both sides. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next episode of the Product Design and Development series.